In this episode, I have this Chevy Silverado 2500 HD High Country in for full detail and ceramic coating. I will be using an assortment of products from DIY Detail and Glass Parency. This truck will be protected using DIY Detail 8-year ceramic coating. The owner's wife had the Camaro that I ceramic coated in my previous video, and this is the last vehicle I have for these customers this year. I had rinsed the truck off with a pressure washer prior to pulling it into the garage to remove the majority of the dirt and sand in preparation for the rinseless wash. As with most of my details, this was started after the sun went down. The truck was pre-sprayed with DIY All Clean and an IK Pro Foam 12, and the areas around the trim and emblems were agitated with a super soft brush to remove the dirt from these difficult to reach areas. The entire truck was then sprayed with DIY Rinseless in a pump sprayer to put down a layer of liquid to further emulsify the layer of dirt on the surface and provide lubrication for the contact wash. During the process, the All Clean from the previous step was rinsed from the emblems and trim. I worked my way around the truck panel by panel, doing the contact wash with the DIY Legacy sponge and then immediately following up with a clay towel to remove bonded contaminants. This paint was pretty rough and desperately needed to be clayed. Slightly opening one of the doors deployed the power running boards, allowing me to easily access these areas of the truck. The dirt and grit that was picked up by the sponge from the running boards is quickly released when the sponge is dunked into the bucket of Rinseless and then wrung out. DIY Rinseless is one of the best products at releasing dirt from your wash media that I've tried. The entire interior was vacuumed to remove the majority of loose dirt particles before introducing chemicals into the cleaning process. The storage area under the rear seat needed to be vacuumed, so I removed the owner's personal items, quickly vacuumed the loose dirt, and then placed the items back into the storage area. The interior panels were more dusty than dirty, so I used a new bucket of DIY Rinseless with a microfiber to wipe down all interior panels, seats, and windows. For the air vents, a Rinseless dampened microfiber was used with an air gun. Blowing air through the microfiber releases a small amount of Rinseless, which cleans the vent fins and inner housing. The Rinseless is then dried using the air gun, leaving a clean vent. I use the same air and Rinseless microfiber process on the areas with electronics, like the steering wheel. This allows me to clean these areas safely without introducing too much liquid. The rear passenger seat had a few crayon marks that needed to be cleaned up. I started with a Rinseless dampened microfiber, but this wasn't strong enough to remove these marks. I moved on to using Glass Parency leather cleaner and a Scrub Ninja scrub pad. which is my go-to for difficult seats that need more elbow grease. Glass Clearance Leather Cleaner is one of the best leather cleaners that I've used. I've changed from using leather conditioner on leather seats and common touch points to using DIY interior ceramic when doing a full detail with a ceramic coating. I am now including this in my package as an extra benefit for my customers since they are purchasing one of my more expensive packages. This makes these areas much easier to clean in the future and provides a layer of protection against spills and stains for 6 to 12 months. I ran out of time to wash the wheels on the first night that I had this truck, so I moved on to cleaning them once the interior was complete. Using the remaining Rinseless solution from the interior wipe down, I used an assortment of wheel brushes and all clean to clean the rims and tires. These were not significantly dirty, so Rinseless and all clean was all that was needed. At this point, I was able to see the true condition of the paint. The owner uses this truck for hunting and for various forms of work. There were some deeper scratches that I knew I was not going to get out, but I could enhance the gloss and improve the overall appearance. The edge of the front doors had some pretty significant marring from fingers when closing the door. This is pretty common on a work truck and just needed a few more passes with the wool pad to correct. I wanted to see what level of correction that I could achieve, so I did a few test spots on the passenger rear fender. I started with DIY Gold Standard Polish and their red jeweling pad on a rotary to see how much correction I could get with that combo. I wasn't entirely satisfied with the results, so I did a two-step correction using the DIY wool pad on a 21mm long throw DA, followed up with the jeweling pad on the rotary. This was able to correct a little further, but when comparing to the jeweling pad, I was really impressed with the amount of improvement I was able to get with just the jeweling pad and Gold Standard Polish. Knowing this truck would be used for hunting and going off-road in the future, I knew perfection was out of the question. I wanted to improve the look of the truck while leaving enough clear coat behind to do additional corrections in the future if needed. Each panel was wiped down with a rinseless staple microfiber to remove the remaining polish residue. Everything was wiped down with glass parency panel prep on an initial towel and then immediately followed up with a dry towel before the product dried. All paint, glass, and trim were coated with DIY 8-year ceramic coating. The tires were dressed with a Meguiar's Hyperdressing diluted 50/50.